In this video, we will show you how to replace your VVT solenoid on this Ford F-150 with a 5.4 liter engine. You'll have one of these along each side of the engine. We're going to be doing the driver's side, which is the harder side to gain access to. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Since we're working on the side of the engine that's a little bit harder to gain access to, we're starting by removing the air inlet tube. To remove this, you're going to find that you have a 10mm headed mounting bolt. Let's start removing that. If you have a washer, remove that as well. Continuing on, we'll take hold of the inlet tube and we're going to separate it from the air filter housing. Just pull that straight forward. Now we'll pull it away from the driver's side fender. Now we're going to have to make our way underneath this area, so we have to dislodge our power steering reservoir and its mounting bracket. To remove the bracket, along the front you have a 13mm mounting nut, and you're also going to have some hardware down along this area of the bracket. Let's start down here. Now as we make our way down this bracket, we can see that we have one locating tab. As you move forward, you're going to find that you have an 18mm bolt holding this bracket in place. We're going to carefully start loosening this. For this bolt, you don't have to fully remove it, but I like to remove it so I can thoroughly inspect. Okay, there's that bolt. Now we can pause down here. Let's make our way up to the upper portion of the bracket. Now up along the front area of this bracket, we have a 13mm mounting nut, as I mentioned before. Let's give this a wiggle. We're going to try to break it free from down along the bottom mounting point there. Perfect. Let's just rest this aside, and now we can gain access in this area. Now I'll use compressed air to clean this area. Along the top of the VVT solenoid here, we're going to disconnect our electrical connector. It's a locking tab. Just want to squeeze that in and pull this up and out of place. Make sure there's no corrosion in that area. Set this aside. We'll start removing the VVT solenoid seal from the valve cover next. For that, I'm just using a flat blade screwdriver and a small hammer. We don't need anything large. You can see that there's a couple areas that are notched out. I'm going to tap this screwdriver in, down, and then I'm going to pry this up and out. Getting close now. Let's set this aside for disposal. Now that we have the seal out of there, we can continue on removing the VVT solenoid from inside of the valve cover area. If you were to look deep down inside this area following the VVT solenoid down, you're going to find a T27 Torx screw holding this in place. We're going to remove that Torx screw, but there's an important note here. You need to make sure that if you do remove the screw, it does not fall inside of the engine underneath the valve cover. If it does, you need to make sure that you remove it. Whether you have to remove the valve cover or anything else, remove the screw or else you can cause catastrophic damage to your engine. Now to remove this, I'm going to be using a T27 bit driver. The good thing about this bit driver in particular is you can tell that I can put a socket over it. That's important for torquing this during the installation process. Now I have this on our mounting screw. I'm going to start turning this counterclockwise. The torque for this is only 44 inch-pounds. It really shouldn't be too hard to loosen up. On the original VVT solenoid, you're going to find that it's a captured bolt. You shouldn't have to worry about it falling out. Let's go ahead and remove this. There it is, friend. Now that we have that out of position, the next thing we have to do is have a peek inside of this area. We need to clean it. For this, I'm using a clean rag and some long nose pliers. We want to make sure nothing falls inside of this valve cover. This is extremely important. Just a quick wipe along this area. Pull that rag out of there. Just a thorough inspection to confirm nothing's inside there that shouldn't be. Now it's time to install the brand new VVT solenoid. When we go to install this, we're going to install the bolt directly onto the solenoid. As you start sliding this in, you need to make sure that the bolt does not fall out inside the engine. I've said this before. So for this, I'm going to have my T27 Torx bit holding this in place. Now we'll start bringing the VVT solenoid into this port. We'll bring our mounting bolt in, line it up, and snug it up. The torque for this is only 44 inch-pounds. Okay, right there feels as though the bolt bottomed out. Before I remove my tool, I'm going to make sure that the bolt is in the proper placement. That way there I don't pull it up and lose the bolt behind the valve cover. Get my torque wrench on here, 44 inch-pounds. There we are. Now once again, we need to make sure that we do not drop anything inside. Let's just clean around this area real quick, just a quick wipe. Now it's time to install our brand new seal. We're going to lubricate this inner port. And now we're going to slide this into place over the VVT solenoid. When you bring it in, look at the seal. You can see that there's two locating tabs. And if you were looking at the valve cover, you have two slots for those tabs to align with, and then we'll press this in. To press this in, I'm going to be using a 36mm socket because it fits directly along the lip of the seal itself. Now I'm going to tap this in lightly. Okay. Let's just feel all the way around, make sure it feels like it's seated. It does feel like it's raised there. I'm going to fix that real quick. Perfect. Let's plug this in. Listen for an audible click, a light tug, confirming it's secure. Now we're going to prepare to install the power steering mounting bracket. Before we bring it into position, I'm going to start installing my 18mm headed mounting bolt first. Start it in a couple threads. After that, we can continue on with the bracket. Let's get this bracket over here. We're going to slide the bracket over that 18mm headed mounting bolt, and then we'll continue on along the front mounting hardware. Pull on the front here. Let's get that 13mm bolt on there. Now we're not going to tighten this yet. Let's make our way back down towards the lower portion of the bracket. We have that 18mm headed mounting bolt, but there's also one locating tab. We want to make sure that's aligned while we continue on tightening the 18mm headed bolt. Okay, right there is bottomed out. We'll just make sure that's nice and tight. Up along the front, 13mm mounting nut. Double check to make sure everything's properly secured in place. Let's reinstall the air inlet tube. We're starting with the driver's side here. This is going to slide towards the driver's side fender. Slide it right in. Now we're paying attention in the center. We'll align it in this area. Press that in. One 10mm headed mounting bolt towards the center of this tube. If you have a washer, make sure it's also installed. Put this in there. Now, if you're doing the VVT solenoid on the other side of the engine, it's right out in the open. Okay, friend, we finished our installation. It's a good idea to do an engine oil and filter change. Aside from that, you want to start the vehicle, let it run, make sure there's no check engine light, no running condition, close the hood, take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.